Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading. Tattle tales from the Vector. This is general or collective, so take what works for you, leave the rest. It's also timely. If you're watching it at this time, it's perfect for you. The underlying energy from the tarot is the Six of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles represents sowing seeds to harvest later. And this is the harvest that had come from sowing the seeds. The pentacles represent health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimensional world. So they're about money matters, of course. Having said that, it's more than just money. It's about lifestyle. You could have all the money in the world and still not have your health and love. Then you wouldn't be living the lifestyle that you probably could be. And this is the energy of having probably about upper middle class and having brought in the harvest. And now we have this person giving charity and to this person, but he's got the scales of justice over this person's head. And this is because he has something in his back pocket here. So he's a grifter. This is someone who is begging when he already has what he needs to invest in himself, but he wants to use this person's money and risk it rather than his own, which doesn't sound like much of a fair deal. And then we have Shooting Star, and this is Shooting Star. She's one of the seven stellar sisters from the Pleiades. This is from my Oracle Tales from the Vector. And this is about how the seven stellar sisters represent the chakras energy. And this is Shooting Star, so it's talking about the base chakra, survival, having to, look after yourself in the third dimensional world. And it's all about how having a good attitude can go a very long way. This is talking about, if you wish upon a star, shooting star, you make the wish because you don't have something that you want. And but if you just sit there and you don't do anything to get what you want, you could be sitting there a long time. And so it's basically saying that if you have make a wish, you can put your energy into it to make it happen. And then we have Judgment coming in regarding something. This is God, the Most High's judgment. This card, the trumpet is blowing. These are ancestors are literally climbing out of their boxes. They're so excited. Justice is here. And the descendants are waving to them across the veil. This energy is talking about maybe skeletons coming out of the closet. There could be something that maybe your ancestors weren't able to clear up before they crossed the veil, and they're still looking for justice now. And so this angel is blowing her horn, and they're waving back and forth, and everybody's excited because there's a situation. Now this may, clearly involves you on some level, but we don't quite know whether it's justice for your ancestors, you, or maybe both. And then we have the Hierophant as well. So this is on its way. The Hierophant is talking about judgment has been called, and the Hierophant is responsible for bringing justice down from the spiritual realm down to the traditional structures in the court systems of the earth. And this goes through religious channels first. So this is talking about if you're a religious person and you go to church or a synagogue or whatever it is you go to, this is talking about the people at the top of the church, popes, cardinals, bishops. This could be gurus. This could be the energy of rabbis, whatever this is, it's talking about that coming down to the physical. And if you're more on the spiritual level and you pray and meditate and go directly to source without the intermediary, this would represent that as well, coming down into the physical. Now these two they're monks, and they have their heads shaved here in tenure. And they used to do that in the old days so that they get a very good idea of exactly what needs to be done and do it according to God's plan. Now, the Hierophant does have his right hand in the form of a blessing, and this is saying if you're on the right side of spiritual and physical law, that this will be a blessing for you. If you're on the wrong side of spiritual and physical law, then you've been caught or whatever, and you are going to have to deal with the consequences of your actions or inactions. And we have a strong base here for moving forward. So this energy, this is saying like this is the beginning of ultimate fulfillment, and it also is the official marriage card. So it can be talking about starting out in a new way and possibly in a new location. It's talking about having a strong base to have a fulfilling life. And if it's marriage, it's basically saying, you know, you have the down payment for your castle. The question has been popped and both people said yes. And you're planning the wedding, and after the wedding then you have to put even more effort than that into the actual marriage if you want it to be the fulfilling relationship that you want, but you have a good base for moving forward in that energy. And then we have the star energy. So I feel that this is the energy we're dealing with in this reading. It makes sense. We're wishing upon a star, and here we have a star. And so this could be, you know, the energy of the star is galactic. And, you know, look, we do have the 7 stellar sisters from the Pleiades here. And we also have the North Star. So the North Star is your North Node energy. It's about being on your designated path, your destiny. And this is putting, you know, you notice her right foot is in the water. This is about taking action. And she is pouring her own essence, her unique skills and talents, and pouring that into the universal pool, and then pulling that out and pouring that out into the onto the earth. And so this is talking about 5 streams going here, and the 5 streams represent these 5 points on the pentacle energy. So it's turning thoughts that come in from the galactic energy, just wishes that you just had, and actually making them into a solid base to get moving forward on. So that's really awesome. And then we have, look at this, we have the pre-empress energy for the pentacles. And it's this card is kind of like the baby stage of this card. So this is talking, you know, a while back, and there was some judgment made here. That's what I feel it is, because you notice we have 6 pentacles here, and then we have 6 here. And this card always reminds me of Nikola Tesla. He would say, if you knew the beauty of the 369, you would have the key to the universe. And like this pre-empress energy in tarot, the Empress is the divine feminine, basically. She is, you know, all 4 queens from the minor arcana rolled into one person. And she achieves this status by staying on her destined path and being, you know, working towards what she wants. She's a very powerful manifester. And also staying on, you know, being the best version that she can be to add to the beauty of the planet. And this energy is saying she has really learned a lot of discernment here about how much time, money, energy to invest in anyone or anything. And so this is talking about you know, when we're first going out into the workforce and we're learning that, or we just, it doesn't necessarily have to be that so much, but it's like when we're starting something new and we have a different, like if we've never been married before and now we're married, we have to learn, okay, what's it like to be a spouse? And how is that energy, and how even is it, and how are we going to distribute the, you know, the chores, all of that, you know, it's quite a lot. And maybe if you start a new career, this could be about, you know, or, you know, when you're young and you just start a career. Whatever this is, though, it's like talking about from this point, she's learned a lot. And some probably the hard way a lot of the time. That's how life is quite often. It's funny, but the lessons that we learn the hard way are the ones we remember the most. So I feel that this is saying that, I feel this is the star energy, and it's talking about giving too much of yourself away, and understanding that when you do that, then you can put yourself in a position where you can't empower anyone anymore, because you don't have enough to empower yourself to empower others. So she has learned not to give any money away. If at the Six Pentacles, if that's all she has, she keeps her hand on 2/3, and she has this other third behind her here. And so 2/3 of what she has, she keeps her hand on it so that she makes sure that she can meet her obligations for her own bills and her family's and her businesses, and then have some left over for in case of emergency. And this is talking about possibly the 3 left over from what she has earned from the harvest that she might consider giving away to charity, such as this. And the other would be possibly maybe a real risky investment, but she wants to make it because she knows she has confidence in it. And she knows that if it's successful, it's really going to increase her financial portfolio. And if not, she'll still have enough to pay her bills here. And then maybe she's saving up for something special for the family, like maybe a vacation or a new vehicle or whatever that is. And she has the foresight now, that's what the falcon represents, to give her the big picture so she knows exactly how much to give and how much not to. And this is talking, I feel, in the past of giving away too much. And this can also be breadcrumbing energy in that situation where other people are wanting to have been using your money and it's hurt you financially. Okay, so yeah, and it has something to do with a broken heart energy. When we look at this, we're like, well, how the hell is anyone going to recover from this? There's 3 swords in the heart. But when you look a second time, you realize, oh, well, there is, in context with the size of the heart, the swords are actually quite small. So these are more like daggers. Like you might be hanging around with blood-sucking vampire energy because of this is talking about being drained, And this heart is in the throat, so it can be saying that you don't have, not feeling safe to speak your truth for whatever reason. It can also talk about gossip and slander and harsh words that have really hurt. And also it quite often represents an energy of having to make a difficult decision. The swords in tarot are our mental intelligence and discipline of our mind. And so it's the thoughts, and thoughts are expressed in words, whether that be verbal or written. And it's talking about having the heart in the throat and not really being able to speak, or having been, feeling very like there's an apology needed or some sort of energy like that. So let's see what's going on here. And then we have victory. So perhaps this is an energy, there could have been some sort of apology came in, or after learning, this discernment, it's talking about really learning how much to give of yourself. And that's talking about having victory now. So the 6 of Wands represents the element of fire as well. Like this is the wood wands fuel the fire for passionate action. Now this is saying victory. That's what this card is. And it looks like there's 5 people in the background that wanted whatever this was as well. And they look a little bit disgruntled, but they have to admit that this person came out the leader. Look how proud she is, and she did a really good job. And the reason for that is she was able to rein in her emotions here. And the horse represents your heartfelt energy and passion. Rein it in so that she could perform at a very high level and, keep her shift together under a lot of pressure. And so this could be something really difficult that happened, and she managed to proceed with a lot of, I'm getting class, like being able to get through it, keep her shift together, and really clearly proving that she's a strong leader. And then we have the Chariot coming in. So the Chariot is saying, yes, this puts her directly onto her designated path. And I feel like this energy is sitting here. So I feel that this is talking about justice coming into the star energy here. Now this could be, with this card here, it could talk about something went wrong with this relationship, Or it could be talking about, and there was maybe this heartbreaking decision was maybe to get divorced or something like that, and then having to be in this energy, dividing assets, that type of energy. But this is talking about now being on destined path, and we'll see as we go here what else comes up here with this. But it looks like you're on the chariot now, and you're in this energy and this energy. So you've learned a lot, like from back when this energy was happening. I feel this is coming out of this situation victorious. Judgment is coming through. And this energy is talking about being on your destined path. It can be talking about taking a trip, traveling somewhere. Maybe you're changing location because of, this all happening, something like that. Maybe moving to even another country. You notice here we have the castle in the background. So it's talking about having to leave your comfort zone to be able to accomplish what you set out to accomplish here. And you notice there's no reins on this. This is like hopping on the chariot. It's like a tank. Tung, 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 tung. It's just going to run over every obstacle in your way. And there's no need for reins because this is God's plan, and the Sphinxes know exactly where they're going. Now, so far as we look at this reading, there's a few cards here talking about possible justice coming in. We have judgment being called, which of course, and the Hierophant, and talking about a judgment maybe being made in a court of law on the physical. This energy here can sometimes talk about perjury. Someone perjured themselves, and there could have been a lot of money involved. Like, you have to understand that this energy here, this would be about upper middle class, and this would be multi-millions of dollars. It's 9 of Pentacles. The highest would be billionaire, trillionaire energy. So this is talking about a heartbreaking decision having to be made that might be moving or letting go. Like, this is talking about leaving people behind that no longer are benefiting you. And this card can also talk about law enforcement coming in. In the old days, they used to put people in prison in uniforms that were striped horizontally. And that energy can represent someone going to jail, to prison, and law enforcement coming in to arrest or indictments or whatever that is. And we have a card here of reconciliation or reunion. So this is interesting that it's coming up here, because are you going back to see, because it's sitting on this ancestors card. So it could have something to do with reconcile, like this energy represents like forgiveness, and this energy it can represent a reunion of some sorts, or and especially coming up at this time, a lot of people are during the summer months are on go to family reunions, high school reunions, that type of thing. But this could also traveling towards something. Or this is quite often talking about reconciliation. And if there's reconciliation with someone, that would mean that you would have to have forgiveness. Forgiveness paves the path for reconciliation, but you don't if you forgive someone, you don't even have to tell them you forgive them. Forgiveness is more for yourself. It's so that you can pull these swords out of your heart and be open to having love and happiness in your life again. And so this energy could be about reconciliation. This is saying there could have been a lot of illusions around the past. It's sitting right on the ancestor and the Hierophant energy. So something was going on, I feel, possibly since you were a child, and maybe even before that, because the ancestors are here. And this is talking about, when you first look at this card, you think, oh, it's 2 children playing with these potted plants, and then there's someone watching over them. But when you look again, you realize that's a gnome, that's a little woman. And this little woman looks like an old hag from the back, but from the front she looks young. And they both are wearing this white mitt. Neither one wants the flowers. The old hag is like, go away, we don't want your stupid flowers. What are you doing here? Leave us alone. The younger version is saying, Oh, we have our finery on, and we have our white mitts on, and we don't want to get them dirty. And you know, she's over explaining, and she's people pleasing. She's being nice. And this is saying, are you, if something happens and you go through all this heartbreak and you go through all of this to get yourself back together, are you going to reconcile with people that put you in this position? Are you going to be a people pleaser, or are you going to continue on your journey? And that's kind of this heartbreaking decision I feel that has to be made or has been made. And it's talking about that. So, you know, even the white flowers here in tarot represent innocence, but these flowers are not innocent. They're from the nightshade family, and this is actually Datra. And Datra is highly toxic if it's ingested by children or pets. It could make them really sick. You would never plant this in your yard and have it around in pots around children or pets. And shamans do sometimes use Datra to induce visions in their ceremonies when they are working with people to heal their childhood wounds. And so this can have a lot, you know, there could be a lot of illusions here. And even the person in the back that looks like they were watching over the children is actually a stranger walking down the path. So your childhood could have a lot of illusions in it that maybe you found out when this energy came out. You might be going back in time here to, this is talking about reconciling the information maybe more than with people. I don't know yet. We don't have a total clear picture as of yet. This changes your world though. This is talking about, okay, this cycle is now over. Now that you know about this, you can move forward on a new cycle. The World card shows up when, like, the Fool starts his journey at the 0 point. And when this card shows up, whenever it does, it's saying, okay, this cycle, you've learned everything that you can from this cycle, and it's time to move on. You were successful in getting through this test of spirituality and on the physical realm as well. You've learned what lessons you needed to learn. It's time to start a new cycle and progress further. And we have 3 cups here. So this is 3 people celebrating that this has happened, that there's something has happened here. We can tell they're not invested in each other. They're not looking at each other. There's no intimacy here. So this is, you know, the cups are about love. And you know, this could represent an event that happened and they're happy about that, but they're not cheering for each other. And if this is romantic love, this 3rd cup here could definitely represent, you know, this could represent a third-party energy dividing a couple. And this could be one of the people that was in the third party. And whenever there's 3 cups in romantic love, usually that doesn't work out so well. People sometimes make agreements for that to work out, but usually it you know, 2's company and 3's a crowd. It just doesn't usually work out. And in many cultures, in particular in Europe, they have a superstition that if you toast someone and you don't look them in the eye, that it causes 7 years of bad luck for their romantic life and yours. And they will freak out. They'll be like, look me in the eye when you toast me. They get upset. And so this is talking about what are they celebrating? Is this possibly the third party? Are they celebrating that they managed to separate 2 people? What is this about? And then we have, look at this, we have the soulmates on top of this. So this is really interesting because do they feel that they separated 2 soulmates that were supposed to be together? Because this quite often, if this is the third party energy, this could be, oh, look at this. This is the third party energy. Then this is about the gossip and the slander and all the harsh words being spoken and them doing their best to take you out as, like, to have people not think of you in this energy, and possibly take it to the point where their gossip and slander, you know, got law enforcement involved. Like, there could be all sorts of energy here. But what's interesting is right after that, here is that way you properly toast someone, just in case you didn't know. So do you see the difference here? To this, from this to this, these people are actually happy for each other. They are intimate, and it's like a toast. And this card can automatically be talking about soulmate energy. And perhaps they thought that they had accomplished this because this energy was here. But whatever happened here, you come out the leader. And they might be under arrest now because of all the trouble they've caused. There could be some sort of weird energy around that. I don't know quite what's going on here, but something's off. But I would say you came out victorious, and here's your soulmate. So they celebrated too soon. And this is talking about two people that have a soul contract to come together at some point in their in this lifetime and be together and empower each other. And they both have are very balanced within themselves in their masculine and feminine energy. They don't need someone. They are actually just they enjoy each other's company, and they have fun together. And this is talking about both of them have very strong intuition and a strong connection to source energy, to the Most High. And this is the communication coming down from what I refer to as HSN, the Higher Self Network. So this is, being full-on connected. Higher Self Network is very much like logging on to the internet and being able to connect. But the difference is you don't have to log on. You're automatically connected to the Higher Self Network, whether you're even aware of it or not. So definitely, I feel like they failed in whatever this was, and for whatever reason, I don't know why this is, but it feels like the law is involved. There could have been a false marriage here. There could have been all sorts of things. Like this, it feels pretty complicated. And we do have a divorce energy coming in here, a sword energy. So you could be someone that was divorced because in the past there was a third-party energy in your relationship, and they're celebrating because they have your spouse, well, your ex-spouse now, and they're, yes, I won, and they won somehow. That like they wanted this to happen, that you would get divorced. But as soon as you come out the leader, because after you get divorced from this person that preferred this other third party, you now are with your soulmate. Interesting. Maybe that was always your wish come true. What a strange reading. And so this isn't that uncommon, but it's just the way it's coming out. It's kind of funny. So the King of Swords energy quite often does represent an authority figure, and definitely can represent like a lawyer energy for sure. And generally, the King and the Queen of Swords are the most likely of all the queens and kings to be divorced or separated. And this energy represents, as I said, an authority figure, someone who's very good with their words, they're educated, someone, and so this can be written word, physical world. But if this is a lawyer, this would be probably a lawyer that is, a partner in an established firm, someone that's higher up. This could represent judges, Supreme Court judges. It could represent, attorney general, that type of energy, someone who puts laws into place, responsible at the top. This could be the energy of pretty much anyone in the judicial system, head prosecutors, etc. Someone higher up, though, because we have a king here. It could represent political energy for sure as well. We have a king here. It could be president, prime minister, congressmen, senators. In Canada, it would be more federal, provincial ministers, public safety minister for sure, with the judicial system here. We have, this could be the energy of a surgeon, veterinarian, dentist, someone who's a psychiatrist in that field. It could also represent research, for, you know, curing disease, and it could be, or whatever the research is, but it like in a lab kind of energy. And this could also represent engineers, like someone with patents, like intellectual property. So you get the picture. This is someone high up. It could even be a best-selling author. I'm just trying to think of all the different, you know, someone who's educated and is an influencer. It could also be that on social media. So, speakers, it's someone who's good with their words and they earn their living using words and their education, not someone who's doing physical labor. Definitely this could be, there was a divorce and there was a divorce lawyer involved. You know, that's the type of energy it is. Maybe your ex is a divorce lawyer. That would be real handy. And then we have the 10 of Cups. So yeah, it's saying that basically I feel what this is saying. Maybe you end up marrying your divorce lawyer. Who knows? There's some sort of energy here, but your soulmate is different from your regular person that you normally would date. And that's the whole point. Yet you'll notice that you have things in common with each other that, you know, oh yeah, when I was that age, it was like this. And when I was at this age, that happened to me too. But you might become from totally different cultures and, you know, religions, whatever. And so this is like the 10 of Cups now. And so the 10 of Cups is saying that after hardship, you have all the love you want coming in. So it's saying like if you know, you're wanting to be in a couple and they love you and you love them, and it's a real easy relationship, someone that you can, you know, that you can have, and this is like, this is going into this cycle after divorcing. I feel that you meet this person, and it could be a lawyer or someone, a political figure, or any of what I just mentioned previously. In any case, this is talking about, it's in a rainbow, so it's talking about this wish actually coming true. Like, you know, wishes do come true, but, you know, you have to put your energy into them, because if you're wishing for something, it means you don't have it. And this is talking about after a storm, the rainbow comes out. So after all the difficulty, your life shifts into this new energy. And I feel like it's after this divorce energy. There's definitely some energy here regarding a couple splitting up because of this third party energy. And now you're with your soulmate instead. So woohoo. And at the top is the devil. So interesting energy. So here we have the 3 of Cups here, and the devil's right on top of this energy, and the marriage. I feel that basically what this is saying is that whatever, I had this feeling that this was like a false marriage of some sort. This person may have only married you because of this energy here. And yeah, I feel like that's what it's about. And there was more than just this person involved, because it was a collaborated effort, I feel, to get their hands on. This is a lot of money. It's multi-millions of dollars. So the devil tempted someone's, and it may be that it was a lawyer, a probate lawyer or something like that, you know, that was not in the upright. I don't put cards upside down and consider them to be in reverse, because each of the cards has so many different ways of, you know, strengths and weaknesses within each of the cards. And there isn't anyone that's 100% evil and has no good in them, except for this guy. And so he's sitting here at the top of the pyramid, and he's on top of this energy right here. And so let's see what this is about. You know, we have 2 lovers here, and you know, like, look at the difference in the energy here. You know, we got this guy like sitting in between them. They're yoked to each other. They're chained to Saturn's box. And this is talking about lust, because he's in this animalistic position. And so this is talking about love, and that's talking about lust. And actually, I feel like the lust might even been the lust of money more than anything. That's the feeling I'm getting. When the devil comes up, I always cover him with the next card up. I want to see what is, because what this is saying, the devil's sitting here at the top of the pedestal. So he hasn't received payment yet. Where's my payment? That's the energy. And so I always cover him with the next card up. I want to see what's this about, and can we figure out what happened here? What happens? Does God cover it? And this is having the courage and the strength to say no to the devil. That's the energy. See, there's something that went on, though, when you were a child. Because this energy here, I feel this is your energy. Your energy is kind of like this with the yellow in the background here. I feel that this is learning things the hard way. You learned things the hard way, but you had the strength and the courage to go inward. This can be like Beauty and the Beast as well, right? You might have actually gotten into a marriage with the devil, with the devil energy, someone that was sent in to get their hands on this. And this energy is talking about 100% infinite potential to the power of infinity and beyond by staying on your destined path and by being your utmost best version that you can be of yourself, having the courage to dig deep into your fears, which is represented by this lion. And you look at this lion, he has his tail tucked under like a dog, and it's allowing her to do this. And she is determined, and that's why he knows that she is fearless in this. She has every intention of using all of her potential to stay in her energy, on her destined path, on God's path. And because she wants true love, that's what she wants with her soulmate. And this energy here is talking about this past energy, the Hierophant, the judgment, all of that coming through. And so this is because you had the courage to stay on your path. Now there's some sort of justice coming through. So let's see, what is this about? We have judgment coming in. It's something from the past. There's some illusions, I would say, definitely around your childhood. And this may have caused a lot of fear in your life, like a lot of negative energy. And then we have the world. So this energy, I don't know, it's almost like when you go back into the past, that's when all of a sudden you've learned everything you need to from the situation and your world changes. And there's the promise of this coming in. This, I feel, is sitting here. This is what you had to overcome. And this energy goes way back. Like, I feel if there was a divorce, it's this energy here. And you had to deal with doing things, really dig deep to face your fears around this, because this energy, I don't feel like this was more than just one person here. Like this, there's several, like this must be a lot of money. And then this is talking about, because this energy, like it's not an energy that goes to a lot of work for something that doesn't have a lot of payback. And this is talking about, I feel, this could even be someone that presented themselves as your soulmate, and it turns out that they're not, that they weren't, and they were with a third party, or it could be about them trying to stop your soulmate in. You'll know, because you'll know whether or not your life is shifting here. And then this is talking about, as soon as you choose to forgive, and a lot of times it's about forgiving yourself as well for ending up in a situation that is so difficult. But I feel that this was already happening before you even arrived. Like there's something down the bloodline that needs to be cleared up, and you might be the one that is clearing that up for the bloodline. And the reward is going to be big. I feel like because you've learned from the past. Now let's see. We're going to clarify this because there's so many ways that this could be going. I'm using the Oracle, and as I said, it's Tales from the Vector. And we have the Super 7 crystal there, and that is representing all this energy in the background. It's this crystal here. And it's about aligning your chakras to align your life so that you have the courage. This is about having your solar plexus energy, bringing courage out. So the cards are the numbers as they come up, are how they are listed in my gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com, and I will put them in the description box below. So we have all or nothing. This card has been coming up in all the readings lately. And it's about pride before the fall, kind of. These people are in all or nothing energy to whatever your ancestors are cheering about now, that it's finally getting cleared up. The people that were in it were really, they've persuaded themselves that, they were proud of themselves for taking this. Really interesting. Manifestation at a high level. And this is talking about here. See, I feel that this energy, this is someone that really wanted to manifest this. And somehow people knew that this was something that was supposed to be coming to you. But I feel like not just on the physical, on a spiritual, like it's your destiny. This is, because you're on a foolhardy journey here. But somehow you end up having to deal with all this past energy. And so this is about anticipating a strong future because you're on your North Star path. And then we have the Tower hits. So this, it does say divorce on here, but this is saying the worst divorce would be from source. And so you may have said, no, I'm not going to engage in this behavior. I'm not interested in doing what you people are doing. I'm not going to be part of this group. And that causes a kink in the plan somehow. We have temperance here. So that's what it's sitting right on here. Being devoted to your path. Right here. So this is talking about having this attitude and also 100% what matters to you the most is staying on your destined path. You are not, it's not about the money for you. It's not about the lifestyle. It's about this energy here, staying on your destined path and having the courage to do so. And temperance in the Bible is representing that energy of being able to rein in your emotions so that you can stay strong and continue being on that path. And then we have a Scorpio energy coming in here. So when horoscope signs come into my readings, I'm not talking about specific people. I just want you to be aware of that. I'm talking about the energy of each of the signs. If you ever get your birth chart done, we have a little bit of everyone in us, and we can learn a lot from this. The Scorpio energy at its absolute best is very good at using words and uniting people and, elevating the vibration and being really in that energy. And in a less strong energy, this can be talking about wanting to conquer with words. Words can be used. That the King of Swords is very much aware that words can be used as weapons, and they can be used as to uplift people. And the thing about Scorpio energy is the glyph is a scorpion, and when they sting you with their words, it's usually, you notice. But this could go further than that. It can talk about gossip and slander and making it so that someone, making it really difficult, life very difficult for someone. And I feel that's what they are. That's what they were celebrating. And I feel that this here, I'm not certain here. I think for some of you, it could have been that someone came in as a false soulmate energy or something to that nature. Or this is talking about, this is the reward for staying on your devoted path. And it could be that this is a lawyer, this energy here, or the things that I said here. It depends on which way, because it's talking about after staying on, being devoted to this. and that your world changes and you don't have to deal with this negative energy anymore. And now you're at I feel this energy down the center is what you've been working on to get away from. And what do we have? The Hermit here, going up to source energy, to God. And these people are not praying to God, by the way. This is an energy of, I feel that this is talking about these people are not devoted to a destined path. So this could have been a false energy coming in, or it could be a soulmate that came in and authority figure that rescue you from this energy. But this is saying you're determined to stay on the path. The Hermit goes up to the top of the mountain and he takes time to spend with God. And then when his light is full of the North Star energy, he comes down and takes action then. And I feel like this is when you took the action to get a divorce from whoever this energy was. And you may have met your soulmate then, or you may not have. This could have been someone pretending to be your soulmate. But whatever, it's different for different people. But this is the promise of having what you always wished for. When you were a little kid, you may have wished upon a star at some point, or watched a Disney movie, which, you know, there's a lot of energy here that is like not devoted to the God the Most High. They're devoted to the devil's energy. And so you may have found out some sort of energy or some sort of information about that, and you might be like in this energy right now working through it, because we're in this dip in the energy right now. But this is saying stay on your destined path. The worst divorce would be from source. And no matter, I don't get this energy that you're tempted at all to be anywhere near any of these people. I just feel that they are not done yet, because they want to create a tower for you for sure. And they want you to appear to be in this energy with them or against them, somehow like that. It's a different reading. I'm going to pull one more card here and just see what else comes out. A major transition. There we go. That's the energy. This is going to be over. And everything, if you're on the right side of the law, then, you know, glory, hallelujah. And if not, well, there's going to be some karma and consequences to pay. But this is saying definitely this energy is done. This isn't, it's run itself dry, basically. So I do hope that this is beneficial for you. It's kind of like a downer reading in some ways, but it is and it isn't. It's just kind of like a lot of unnecessary, what is the word I'm looking for? Like unnecessary evil, unnecessary, like, why? Like, well, we know why it's about this, but it's just kind of like, it's just, there was no need for this. This is just people just full of themselves, you know, and they get themselves in this energy, get together and decide that they're above the law, basically. In any case, we see this happening around the world a lot, and we also lately are seeing a lot of justice coming in on the planet. So we'll see what goes on next. I'm going to leave this energy here, and I hope you benefited from it. I thank you for your likes, your comments, your shares, and subscribes. And also, I will have another reading for you tomorrow, and I do hope it's a little more upbeat than this one. All right, bye for now.